Local boy beats Simon record for most sequences in a game of Simon. Courtney McClure, The Standard. Scugog. On November 28, 2020, Maddox Ranjbar, 10 years old, was awarded a certificate for breaking the record of the most sequences made in the game Simon. "I felt like I did a really good job that was really impressive," explained Maddox. Maddox has been a fan of Simon for many years. When he won, he said he was very excited and proud of himself for beating the highest score. The previous high score on the game was 15 sequences in a row. When he found out he'd beat the highest score, Maddox and his family immediately sent an application to the Guinness Book of World Records. Afterwards, the company sent Maddox an official certificate. Maddox was awarded the certificate on March 8th. Maddox's record has been added to the Guinness Book of World Records website. According to his father, Michael Spicer, he thinks Maddox's record will be added to the 2021 edition of the book. The first Simon game Maddox played was Simon Micro. This version is smaller than the original. His mother also bought him another Simon game. "I loved the Simon game," shared Maddox. While playing Simon Micro, Maddox's high score was 15 sequences in a row. But when he started playing another version, he achieved even more sequences in a row. When Maddox reached 15 sequences on Simon Micro, he was pleased. But when he reached 84 on the other version of Simon, he was thrilled to beat his high score and the world record. Milton Bradley, now known as Hasbro, released the game Simon in 1978. Simon is an electronic game which tests the player's memory. The device for playing Simon is circular-shaped, with 4 buttons attached to the system. The colors of the buttons are green, red, yellow, and blue. Each button indicates a certain tone. The E note is the blue button. C-sharp note, also known as D-flat, is the yellow button. The A note is the red button, and the green button is an E note 1 octave lower than the blue. While playing, the game creates a series of tones accompanied by their corresponding lights. Then, the player has to repeat the sequence by pressing the buttons in the same order. As the game continues, the sequences and patterns become longer and more complex. The game is also timed, so once the player fails to replicate a sequence or the timer runs out, the game ends. Editor's note: way to go, Maddox. Keep exercising that impressive memory.
Kawartha Lakes prepares for spring with burn index change. Dan Kearns, local journalism initiative reporter for The Standard. Kawartha Lakes. With spring season beginning and the local community having seen warmer temperatures recently, Kawartha Lakes has changed their fire hazard rating. Kawartha Lakes has set the current fire hazard rating to extreme at the discretion of Fire Chief Mark Pankhurst due to the current weather being experienced, read a press release from the city of Kawartha Lakes. In a statement, Chief Pankhurst explained why the decision was made. As the snow continues to melt, conditions across the municipality vary, and it's important to take precautions now as a preventative measure. The city recommends any burning done during this time should be restricted and monitored closely. Those who choose to burn things during this time are asked to keep the area around the fire damp. The city also announced they would be beginning their annual burn ban on Thursday, April 1st. During the burn ban, all permits except for agricultural and special permits will be included in the ban, the press release explained. Dates released for local COVID-19 vaccine clinics. Dan Kearns, local journalism initiative reporter for The Standard. Kawartha Lakes, North Durham. More information has been released about local COVID-19 vaccination clinics plans. The Halliburton-Kawartha Pine Ridge District Health Unit, HKPR, recently provided dates for when their mass vaccination clinics will begin operating. The clinic at the Lindsay Exhibition started vaccinating residents 80 years of age and older on Thursday, March 18th. The Fenland Falls Community Center Clinic is expected to open the week of April 5th. For every clinic, it's going to be the same thing. It will be dependent on vaccine availability, HKPR Acting Medical Officer of Health, Dr. Ian Gamil cautioned during a virtual press conference on Wednesday, March 17th. The AstraZeneca vaccine was recently declared safe for people 65 years of age and up by Canada's National Advisory Committee on Immunization. They've told us now they've got enough information from Europe, the UK, that they can say this vaccine is also useful and protects against hospitalizations, complications, and death in the over 65s. Dr. Gamil explained. He added this vaccine makes the process easier for the health unit. It's going to make things easier because this vaccine, unlike some of the others, is stable in refrigerators. That's going to make it easier to use. It will also increase our supply because we have a third vaccine to deal with. As of press time, HKPR has administered 13,617 doses of the COVID-19 vaccines to local residents. 1,755 residents have received the second dose of the vaccines. Meanwhile, the Durham Region Health Department has released the schedule for the North Durham vaccine sites. The Uxbridge Arena Clinic will open on March 29th. The Scugog Arena Clinic will then open on March 31st. The Rick McLeish Memorial Community Centre in Brock Township will be opening on April 3rd. These clinics will operate on a rotating basis. Every week there will be one clinic scheduled for Brock and 2 clinics scheduled for Uxbridge and Scugog. All clinics will be open from 10:30 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. Residents 75 years and older, or who will be turning 75 this year, can begin booking appointments starting at 11 a.m. on March 22nd, read a press release from the Durham Health Department. Brock Council says farewell to outgoing clerk. Dan Kearns, local journalism initiative reporter, for The Standard. Brock Council said goodbye to their longtime township clerk at a meeting on Monday, March 22nd. Becky Jamieson is leaving Brock Township at the end of this month to join neighboring municipality Scugog. At her last regular Brock Council meeting, members of council had some kind words for her. Becky has been employed with Brock for almost a decade, I guess. I remember being on council during the 2010 to 2014 term when she was hired. Over those years, Becky has shown professionalism and dedication to this township. She's progressed through different positions, finally landing, deservedly so, in the clerk's position, Ward 3 Councillor Walter Schumer said. She's not only shown professionalism beyond her years of experience, but she's done so by always putting a very human or personal touch on her work. Even if you didn't necessarily agree with something she did or proposed, it was hard to argue with her smile, which she always had. Mayor John Grant added to Councillor Schumer's statement, "All the kind words from Councillor Schumer, you deserve them. You deserve all the best in your future endeavors. I think it's the most appropriate point in time to acknowledge Ms. Jamieson's contributions," Mayor Grant stated, announcing the departing clerk had been added at the meeting to the township's Wall of Fame. At the end of the meeting, Ms. Jamieson thanked the township for the opportunity to serve her community. "People laugh at me when I say it felt like an honor and a dream come true to work in my little hometown. But it was the truth. I can't thank the township enough for all the opportunities for both professional and personal growth over my tenure here at Brock Township. I want to wish everyone the best and the township the best in its future. I'm going to miss everybody," Ms. Jamieson expressed.
Bobcaygeon, a finalist for Hockeyville. Dan Kearns, local journalism initiative reporter for The Standard, Kawartha Lakes. Bobcaygeon is one of 4 community finalists competing to be named Craft Hockeyville 2021. The finalists in this competition were announced on Saturday, March 20th. Craft Hockeyville is a partnership between Kraft Heinz, the National Hockey League (NHL), and the National Hockey League Players Association, which annually supports local arenas with funding. The other finalists are Lumsden, Saskatchewan, St. Adolphe, Manitoba, and Elsipogtog First Nation, New Brunswick. The local Kawartha Lakes community is looking for support for the Bobcaygeon Verulam Community Centre. Generations have learned team building, social skills, and a true sense of community by playing and coaching the game. But the pandemic is threatening the closure of this community keystone. Bobcaygeon is determined to preserve this important fixture for future and aging generations and to make it more inclusive of all community members. If Bobcaygeon can win the title of Craft Hockeyville 2021, they will work to remove barriers for both the young and the young at heart by installing accessible washrooms, improving change rooms, and upgrading mechanical equipment and amenities, read an NHL press release. In a statement, Matt Bruce, Senior Brand Manager for Kraft Heinz, talked about his excitement at seeing this annual initiative continue to thrive despite the pandemic. With so many deserving communities, selecting finalists is never easy, but we are thrilled to announce our top 4 finalists and looking forward to watching Canadians virtually support their big push towards the Kraft Hockeyville 2021 title.
The Standard Podcast was produced by Greenstream Studio for the Standard newspaper.